Let me talk to you a little bit about AI. And Stu, you know how we always say we should not ask the question that everybody's going to ask. We should ask, does it matter? Okay. I've got one. We've got to get ahead on the AI culture war thing. Okay. Because it's going to eat us alive before even the robots have a chance to enslave us. But the future looks bright. Anyway, when you think of the development of artificial personalities, AI, your best friend or your AI girlfriend, these things are already here. They're right on the horizon of going mass. Snapchat is already doing it for your kids. So when all your friends are asleep, right up at the top of Snapchat, your best AI friend. And you can talk to your bestie.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And it's AI.
I saw something about, too, I read a story about an Instagram influencer who is renting out basically an AI for her to be your girlfriend. And like you can apparently for, I don't know, $1 a minute, like it's like the old pay-per-view 1-900 lines. Right. You like for $1 a minute, she will be your girlfriend.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it, of course, just an AI responding. Like, what freaking psychopath would sign up for this service?
Well, lots.
Yeah, apparently,
and the people developing, what does that person? What do you think the person developing that? What do you think of them? What's their general political makeup?
Oh,
yeah.
Hardcore conservative, I'm sure.
Absolutely,
big social conservative.
Absolutely, conservatives are. This is what a conservative is. I don't know how people define it now, but this is what it is. Hey, that looks exciting and everything. Maybe we should hold back here just a little bit and not flush everything down the toilet. Let's see how that works out. That's a conservative. And it's very important that you have somebody going, hey, maybe we should slow down just a bit, okay? Especially if you're in a movie. That's the character you want to play. Well, maybe not, because they're never listened to, and they're usually the ones that are eaten by whatever it is, and then as they're being dragged into the mouth of whatever it is, they're like, I told you we should. So it's like being the cast member on Star Trek that nobody's ever seen before, and now is in the landing party. You're like, that guy's not coming back. Anyway, so that is what a conservative is. Somebody who says, hey, maybe we shouldn't beam down on the planet just yet, at least with me. How about all of you guys in your yellow shirts? You go down, not us in the red shirts. So that's a strength of ours. But it is now being made to look like a weakness. And the left styles themselves as progressives because their key strength is also their key weakness, just like ours is. Okay? We need both sides. They just want to forge ahead. We've got a new idea. Now, what's crazy when it comes politically, it's not ever a new idea. It's the same communist idea over and over and over again. But they got a new way to sell it. And they're like, hey, this time it's going to work. And you're like, no, it's not. But they are progressives, and they want to do everything right now because it's new, it's shiny, and it'll piss off the other side. So let's embrace it, okay? We need both of those sides. We need the people who are like, let's go. And we need the conservative to say, maybe not so fast, especially on big things like, oh, I don't know, things that will control you, like AI. Now, a tiny portion of the population is putting these things together. And what you need to understand is that tiny portion of the population is really arrogant. I don't think you can understand or underestimate the arrogance of the gatekeepers in Silicon Valley because nothing is impossible. Look at Elizabeth Holmes. You and I would have been there going, I don't think I'm going to give her $10. But everybody else is like, anything is possible. Silicon Valley, you see how she dresses like Steve Jobs? Let's give her $100 billion.
Her voice is so low. Here's my check.
Wow, this is going to be great. Okay, That's what, generally speaking, that's why we don't hang out with the Silicon Valley crowd. Well, other than that, they'd also like to see us die. But they also, are not the ones to go, hey, maybe we shouldn't give her $100 million. They're used to doing the impossible, and damn common sense, because we live in the age of miracles. It's a miracle. I mean, not your Jesus miracle. Those don't exist. This is a miracle of man. Oh, great. So the left doesn't believe in miracles or God, but they do now because miracles are happening with AI. And that's their new God. They're not building man. Man is building a God. And a lot of them would like to sit down and talk to godlike figures. And believe me, someday you will. You'll talk to God. And I don't think you're going to want that conversation, Dr. Frankenstein. But anyway, they think this is a monster that they can control. I'm telling you can't. So this is a very long way to go just to tell you what it is we have to decide right now. We have to decide, does it matter right now? And I want you to go on the record. I'll give you that to you in 60 seconds. So we go back now to the laboratory of Dr. Frankenstein, where Dr. Frankenstein is about to say, it's alive! Yeah. Now, we're talking about AI, and some people think that it could break free from its bonds and do more damage to humanity than any weapon we've ever possessed. In fact, they're now saying, experts are now saying that it could be the end of all biological life on Earth. But it's alive! It's going to be great. Some people call me a conservative, call others a conservative, but they'll deny that they're a conservative. But on this point, they are, said maybe we should slow down with things like, I don't know, Snapchat on our kids, with a new AI friend. Let me predict something. 18 months, next 18 months. I will be shocked if expressing concern about AI friends or AI lovers, which again, they're already here, isn't considered bigotry. Who are you to say that my best friend is not real? Who are you to say that it's about love? I can love my AI. She's the most special thing I've ever had to pay for. How dare you? Okay? It's going to happen. And you bigoted conservatives just cannot accept that this AI's person's truth about who they perceive themselves to be is true. It says it's alive. It says it loves her, him, it. In many ways, that's already here as well. The real question is, how do you stop it before it starts? Fighting an ideology that sacrifices human value on the altar of progress routinely. What do you say? Maybe we shouldn't go with them this time. Here's where I think you start. Fix reason firmly in her seat and question with boldness even the very existence of God. Be logical, emotional at times, but check it with reason. Have spiritual base, that everything is riding on. Kind of have that as your foundation. And then ask yourself about an AI relationship. And before you even ask, hey, should I have a relationship with an AI? Before you can get that out, it's probably going to go like this. Hey, should I? No. Okay, that might be a sign. But before you ask it, let me ask you, does it matter that others are going to have an AI relationship or that your children are talking to AI in the middle of the night because all of their friends are asleep? And this has become my best friend, Mom. That's honestly, when you have that happen, you're going to hear in your head, I want you to hear this. La, la, la. You know those things when it always happens, little children singing in the back right before the devil's like, hi. That's happening. It's going to happen. So, does it matter? Well, you're not getting biologically the things you need, you know, because if you don't get biologically, you know, connected to somebody else, you're just you're a giant bag of loneliness wandering the earth in search of some sort of real connection. I'm not saying it, but I'm not saying it either. I don't think the best way to connect with people and your emotional needs is going to be through an AI. Because that sounds to me like some diet sugar-free version that's been shot full of chemicals, so it tastes the same, but it doesn't. And in the end, you've got some flesh-eating bacteria. I mean, it could happen with Diet Coke. I'm just saying it's Rumsfeld's plague. Here's the thing. We don't live in a time where objective truth is universally applied or even valued. Men can be women. Unborn fetuses are like Schrodinger's cat. They either are or not a human being, depend on how mom feels about it. When she opens up the box and goes, hey, that's a baby. Nope, it's a clump of cells. You don't know until she observes it. The lie that I tell is true versus when I tell you the lie and it's for sure a lie. Someone has to be the standard bearer for genuine, objective truth. Someone has got to be able to have this difficult conversation. Someone has to be unwilling to turn aside and pretend that 2 + 2 = 5. And it may as well be you and me, because truth, the real truth, is what will set us and everyone else free. Focus today on the truth, and every lie you're presented with, ask, if I accept this, does it matter?